Hey guys, and welcome back to Studio Pro with me, Gregor. Have you tried time stretching, meaning to quantize certain audio files in Studio Pro before and ran into the issue that they didn't time stretch properly? Then this video is for you, because I'm going to show you why that is, how you can fix it, and also how to detect the BPM of any audio loop in the future. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I have a song session right here in Studio Pro, and I have a beat that I would like to use as the foundation of my track right here in the pool. And I can basically get that into the session onto an audio track by simply dragging it. And now I would like to time stretch it. So the BPM of the original is probably not going to be the session BPM, which is currently set to 90, as you can see. It's probably something else. And I'm not sure what BPM that is exactly, but it shouldn't matter because usually I can just go to the track inspector right here. I can also press F4 and then I can basically just set the tempo to time stretch, and that would just work, right? If I turn on the metronome at the same time, there's no issue whatsoever. So what's the problem then? Well, in this case, Studio Pro, as you can see right here, was able to detect automatically that the BPM is probably going to be 73. And usually there's no help required here. Studio Pro will be able to calculate that itself, but sometimes it can be a little bit tricky. For example, let's say that I would go ahead and manually take out this detected file tempo. Then you would see how I'm suddenly undoing the time stretching. And that is because time stretching can only happen if you know the original tempo. If you know the original tempo, then you can recalculate what it would be at the set BPM of your session. But if you don't know the original tempo, that's like asking, solve a math equation, but I don't tell you the beginning of it. So that wouldn't really make sense, right? As the answer only really makes sense in context with the question. Fortunately, in Studio Pro 8, we made it super simple to detect tempo even when the original BPM has been removed or isn't known. So in this case, you can see there's no tempo set in the clip anymore, which is why time stretching is currently failing on the track. But I can simply go to audio and then detect tempo, and this will just automatically detect the tempo, and once it's done, it's writing 73, which is the correct file tempo here in the track inspector, and now this is automatically time stretched to the correct length, which is 4 bars. This is at 60 BPM, this is at 90 BPM, it's always working correctly. But there are still some cases where the automatic detection for some reason is not working. And in that case, there's 2 manual methods that you can use to restore that original tempo so that the time stretching on the track works as expected. One of the ways that you could do this would be, for example, by using don't follow. So this is the default tempo follow mode, and what this means is that as you're entering a new BPM, the region will not move with it. It will stay at the exact same time position, and that is pretty cool for methods such as tap tempo. So what you can do is you can listen and then tap with your mouse where it says tempo, always on a downbeat. And this will be a very quick way, as you can see, to find that original BPM that we need to enter. And then I could just right-click this clip right here and then double-click where it says file tempo and enter the 73. And now, if I go back to the original session BPM of 90 and I would set the tempo to time stretch, look at that, it automatically quantizes to 4 bars because the original BPM is now known. Now, I really like this method at the start of a song production, but it can be a little bit annoying to do this in the middle of a song production when I'm adding a loop, because I don't want to affect the entire timeline by tapping a new session BPM, right? And so this is where my other favorite method for detecting tempo comes into play, which is the define tempo method. So while we are set to time stretch, we can actually, let me just remove the tempo again, hold Option on a Mac and Alt on Windows, together with Command on a Mac or Control on Windows. So again, set the tempo follow mode to time stretch, and then you should see how this metronome appears. And this is great if you know the exact bar length of the loop that you've added with the unknown BPM. Right here, I don't know the original BPM, but I do know that it was 4 bars, and I can literally just time stretch this back to 4 bars. And what's great about that is you can already see how it says 73 BPM right there. And this once I let go, will be defined as the file tempo in the inspector as well. Let's watch that together. So I have no file tempo set. And then as soon as I do this and let go, I have 73, which is the correct tempo. And you can see that the time stretching has already been applied. So whether it's 90 BPM, whether it's 120 BPM, whether it's 60 BPM, it's always gonna work. Okay, so whenever you run into this issue that the tempo time stretching doesn't work properly, 99% of the time, the issue is just that the original file tempo is not known. And again, these methods are really only necessary if the automatic detection, the tempo detection of Studio Pro is for some reason not working. Usually it would just detect it automatically as you drag something in. But when you notice that tempo time stretch doesn't seem to do anything, then this is the issue. Right-click the event region, double-check the file tempo, and if it doesn't get detected, then use one of the methods outlined here. So hopefully that's helpful. In my next episode, we're gonna look at the different time-stretching modes that we have available in Studio Pro and which are best for drums, loops, vocals, and any kind of audio material. So hope to see you then, and thank you for watching.